Shalom, shalom, shalom. What's going on with it, family? Look like we got 11 people in the building. Um, Shout out to all the Israelites out there, man. I send greetings to all of y'all. Now what I want you guys to do, you want to share this link, get this out to the people. It's finna go down. Okay, we got some things we got to talk about. As you see the title, $65 trillion money crisis. Okay, go and get in the building. Okay, because it's finna go down. And see, we got to talk because while we have been tied up, okay, with a lot of this entertainment, a lot of this stuff that's going on, we have a big crisis that's going on behind the scenes. And it seems like we're going to be the last ones to basically wake up and see what's going on. So I got to breathe on this thing today. So you want to make sure that you guys share this video, get it out to the people, okay? Because I'm getting ready to go in on what's going on. Okay, now let me see here. Okay, 65 trillion in debt you can't find. That'll get you. Okay, now this is the headline Post ran December 6th. Okay, so while we've been sitting around paying attention to all of this other stuff, okay, we paying attention to Lil Migo getting hands put on him, you know what I'm saying, and all this other stuff, which you need hands put on them. But at any rate, we're paying attention and being entertained to all of this stuff when we got other stuff that's going on the back end that's getting ready to affect everybody here in this nation, include Israelites. Okay, so we got to get up to speed on what's going on here. Okay, I want you guys to share this link as y'all coming in. Hit the like button. Let the machine know that we working today. Okay, because this is going to be real important. Okay, now as we have been paying attention to this stuff that's going on now, if you see this headline right here, it states 65 trillion in debt. You can't find that. Now, while this headline was running, they was pointing us to this guy right here. Now, if you guys don't know, this guy right here, Sam Bankman-Fried, and he just got arrested the other day. Okay, now this dude is allegedly charged with taking billions of dollars out of traders' accounts. Okay, let me see here. Now, okay, so right here it says the Wall Street Journal reported that Bankman-Fried may have illegally taken about 10 billion in FTX customers' fund for his trading firm. Okay, so he's allegedly charged with taking over $10 billion in funds. Okay, now this is going to be important to understand because see, the witchcraft and sorcery that they have been using, the divination, is coming to an end. Okay, so now let's get into this article, and let me jump on over here to the actual article, and I'm gonna start reading it. Okay, it says $65 trillion is not a big number. It's huge, it's huge, barely comprehensive number. It's more than 2.5 times the size of the entire U.S. Treasury market, the world's biggest. It's 14% of the value of all financial assets globally, according to the tally from the Bank for International Settlements. It's also the value of hidden dollar debt unrecorded on balance sheets of non-U.S. banks and shadow banks as of June this year. Also, according to the BIS, the central bank, it has been growing rapidly, having nearly doubled since 2008. Now, of course, in 2008, that's when we had the housing crisis, when all of that stuff took place, right? So now it goes on to say the fact that most of this hidden debt is owed to banks is another reminder of the ever-growing and opaque interconnections between the traditional financial system and the shadow banking sector. Okay, a whole set of recent mini crises have shown that these links are part of why central banks keep being forced to step in and stabilize government bond markets and other assets when stress levels rise. Now, let me start breaking some of this down, and I want to try to break it down in a way that people can understand it, because a lot of these terms they use, people are not your average people are not familiar with. Now, they say that this was reported by the Bank of International Settlements. So now the question we have to ask ourselves is who and what is the Bank for International Settlements? Okay. Now let's uh let's pull this up real quick. Now, the Bank of International Settlements is, so just so you guys can understand this, right? You have the regular banks that we go deposit our money and stuff into, right? So now uh those banks are um those banks are just regular put our money into, and then the bankers have a bank that they answer to. Okay, so they answer to the central bank, and the central bank answer to the Bank for International Settlements. Okay, so every country has a central bank. Okay, and so our banks answer to the central bank, and the central bank answer to the big dogs, which is the Bank of International Settlements. Now, this bank is in this bank is in Switzerland. Okay, and I'm trying to see how can trying to pull it up on the scene so I can show this. Let me see here real quick. Let's see, how can I do this? Can I get in here? Y'all bear with me. I'm trying to, okay, see if I stop sharing that. Okay. Let's go. Okay, well, let me see here. Let's go back to here real quick. Bear with me. Let me pull these screens up real quick. Okay, so where do I want to go next? Okay, let's go to Chrome tab. All right, let's just do this right here. Let's go to entire screen real quick. Let me pull this up real quick, family. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see this now. Okay, now listen right here, just to give you guys some understanding. What is the BI is? The Bank of International Settlement states right here that the BIS was created in 1930 at the Hague Conference. A convention respecting the establishment of the BIS was signed between Belgium, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and the UK on the one hand and Switzerland on the other. So let's break this down. So back around 1930, 1933, okay, the Bank of International Settlements was established. Now they had all the money. All these countries had their money in Switzerland. Now, why do they hide the money in Switzerland? They hide the money in Switzerland because the money cannot really be tracked in Switzerland. It doesn't have all the laws that we have here as far as tax evasion and things like that. So basically, to make a long story short, is like, say for an example, if like, well, let's just go back and let's look at this account. When you go back to the days and times of the Holocaust, okay, you had the Nazis, and then you had the Jews. Switzerland is like this. They're saying like, look, we're not going to get in the middle of nothing that's going on. Your money here, you can put your money here. If you want to put your money here, you can put your money here. We ain't got nothing to do with the wars and the beef that's going on, and we don't adhere to none of that. So this is why all the countries hide their money in Switzerland. Okay. So now, with that being said, you notice right here it says it stated these countries, and then it said on the other hand, Switzerland. So of course, Switzerland, by allowing them to have the money there, they make money off that money and stuff that's coming in, you know. So this is how they hide the money. They can go around the world, rob and pillage, and then they can just hide the money up there without any without any problems. Okay, because nobody is going up there messing with Switzerland because of their laws. Okay, now we got about 20 people in the building, man. Y'all go ahead and hit that like, man. We got to get this out to the people now. Okay. I need y'all to be proactive now. I'm getting ready to break this thing down. Okay. Now we already a young Greasy said they said we heading for a recession. No, we already in a recession. Okay. We already there. So let me break down what's going on. So then look, if you look here, it says in the late 1930s, international cooperation became difficult due to the growing political and military tension. During this period, BIS was instrumental in shipping gold from Europe to safety to the safety of New York, mostly on behalf of European central banks. Okay. So now let's kind of break some of this down so you can understand why we're in the trouble that we're in today. So basically, what happened is this. Roosevelt, the president Franklin Roosevelt took us off the gold standard in 1933. Okay. So basically what they did, they got rid of basically tangible money and they created the credit system. Okay. The credit system is what's got everybody in trouble right now because they could just print money and they're not being held accountable for it. So when they tell you, okay, now let's go back over here to this. So when they tell us on here that it is also the value of hitting dollar depth unrecorded on the balance sheets of non-US banks, what they're telling you is that the banks are not reporting this money. So the banks have two different sheets. They have a sheet in which they report, then they have another sheet in which they don't report on. Okay. So this money right here that's in the air, basically the 65 trillion is off the books and is being hid in shadow banks. So the reason why they don't have it recorded on the books is because if it was recorded on the books, it would basically show that the banks are bankrupt. You know what I'm saying? That they're in the negative. So they keep it off the books to make it seem like the economy is strong and the banks are doing good. But that's a lie. Okay. And this has been going on since 2008. This is why it says it has nearly doubled. So this is when they print this money and we go in debt, they basically take the money and they hide it in these shadow banks off the book, so it makes it seems like the economy and things are doing good. So now the question we have to ask ourselves now, as you guys are beginning to understand this, those of you that's not understanding it, make sure you guys are hitting that like button when you come in. Y'all not listen. I need y'all to hit that like button and also make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel. Okay. We got to get this message out there, man. Our people need to hear this stuff, man. This ain't the time to be playing around because it's getting ready to go down. And they got 30 days to find this money. They got to the end of the year to find this money. Okay. That money got to pop up. But I'm gonna also show you what they're trying to do now. Okay. So now listen, what is the shadow bank? Okay. Let's break this down so you guys can understand. It says the shadow banking system consists of lenders, brokers, and other credit intermediaries who fall outside the realm of traditional regulated banking. So now let's look at it. It says, what are examples of shadow banking? Okay. Let me jump down here. Okay. It says examples of shadow banks include finance companies. Okay. Finance companies. Okay. Where you go and you get money and stuff like that, where they lend you money. Finance companies, asset backed commercial paper. Okay. Um, Structured investment vehicles, okay, credit funds, money market mutual funds, security lenders, limited purpose finance companies, and government sponsored enterprises. Okay. So what they're talking about now, they said up here, structured investment vehicles, credit hedge funds. So don't you know that a lot of you guys, well, most of us, as we are working, okay, we at work, right? We pay into retirement funds. So this is how they hide the money, and in most times they are investing this money. Okay, so in all of these different places, and that's what I'm saying. When they pull the rug from up out of this stuff, all of that stuff is going to come crashing down. Okay, and this is why it's important. You got to watch. You know what I'm saying? How much money you keep it in the banks and stuff these days. You know what I'm saying? Because let me tell you something. The first people that's going to be robbed are these multi-millionaires and these billionaires. These people that's say they got the bag and they doing this and that. These are going to be the first people to get robbed. You see what just happened with Kanye West, where they basically took his money. You see what's going on with Jay-Z, where he's in court with Bacardi and all of these people. These billionaires are who they're going to target first because they need that money. You know what I'm saying? They basically have been gambling on, as we would say in jail, they've been gambling on ass. You know what I'm saying? And so now they got to find a way to make up that money. And what they're going to do is they're just going to eventually, they're just going to keep printing money until this whole thing crash. Okay. Now check this out right here. Asset backed commercial paper. Now, what is asset backed commercial paper? Let's look this up real quick. Okay. Let's look this up. Hold on. Hold on. Let's do this. I don't want to go to Wikipedia. Let's just put that right on in here. Okay, now what is this? Okay, so an asset back commercial paper is a short-term investment vehicle with the maturity date that is typically 90 to 270 days. A bank or other financial institutions typically issue the security itself. Okay, they issue the security itself. The notes are backed by the company physical assets such as trade receivables. Okay, so basically what they do right now. Let's look at something here real quick. So basically, they're talking about these different instruments, promissory note, drafts, checks, and things like that. That's in the that's typically in the bank. So how is it backed? Let's do this right here now. So they can issue it themselves, right? Now let's see how this stuff is backed, right? So basically, what it is, it's basically backed, and I'm trying to find the receipt to pull it up, but it's basically backed by the strength of the credit rate. You know what I'm saying? So this is why they keep these things off the books so that they don't have to show, uh, you know, what's going on as far as them actually being in the negatives. Okay, so all of this money that's missing has to come to the forefront at some point. You know what I'm saying? They got 30 days to come up with this money and basically show where this money is at. So what they're trying to do is now they're trying to now what they're trying to do is they're trying to move over to, and let's pull this up right here. Uh Central bank digital coins. Okay. So what they're doing is they're trying to move over to this they're trying to move over to this digital currency. So what people got to understand when you look in the market and people saying, "Oh, the market is crashing," what you have to grasp is the money, the market. I mean, yeah, the market is crashing, but what they're doing is they're pulling their money because they know that is getting ready to go down. So everybody is selling off. All of these companies and everything are selling off. Okay. And so what they're trying to do now is they're trying to switch to a digital currency, which they just did a soft launch about a week or two ago. Okay. And so what they're doing is now that this system they know is going down the drain, okay, now they're getting ready to try to switch over to a whole new system. So when you hear people talking about the great transfer of wealth, this is what they're talking about, okay? Now what these people are trying to do, okay? Now this is how dangerous what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to create this digital coin, right? Now what this digital coin does is they're basically going to create it on the blockchain. So you know how they went around and told you, oh, cryptocurrency is bad, it's a scam, this and that. So they allowed this stuff to happen with this guy Sam in order to say, okay, we the government, we need to step in and make regulations and all of this other stuff. But yet this guy was allegedly taking this money and he was donating it to these different parties and stuff, you know what I'm saying, in order to get certain things done. You know what I'm saying? So what they're doing is they want to bring the market all the way down and they want to force the people to have to convert to this digital dollar. Now what they're trying to do with this digital dollar, look, like these people do not stop, right? What they're trying to do is that they're in the process right now doing a soft launch, is trying to see if they can pull this stuff off. But what it's going to be is it's not going to be like Bitcoin and Ethereum. See, Bitcoin and Ethereum is traded on it's traded to the public, like the public can see, like all of the wallets are is transparent. You know what I'm saying? They don't want you to see what they're doing in the background. This is why they're trying to create this digital dollar. Okay. And the only people that's going to have access to know what's going on behind the scenes are the banks. So then they can inflate this digital dollar again, because nobody knows what's going on the back end. See, with Bitcoin and all that stuff is public, so you can't tiptoe around. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is public. You can see everything that's moving in and that's moving out. Family, I need y'all to run those likes up. We got over 20 some people in the building. You know what I'm saying? I need y'all to, we got to get these likes up. Okay. Now listen to what's going on, because I'm breaking down some detrimental stuff that people need to know what's going on. Okay. Because when this stuff come crashing down, don't be sitting around talking about, oh, well, I didn't know. And you worried about what's going on, in the entertainment business. That's not going to save you. You know what I'm saying? So what's going on is that they're trying to bring Bitcoin and Ethereum all the way down. Now, what people have to understand about that is that there's no need to panic and say, oh, we're in the crypto. What they did is, if you go back and look at the charts of Bitcoin, okay, Bitcoin is right about where it was. I believe it was like 2 years ago before they inflated the market, okay, before they inflated the market, right? Before they inflated the market with all of this money. So when people say, oh, it's crashing down, it's because they're pulling all the money down. So now it's going back to where it's really supposed to be at. Okay. Now they have a problem with Bitcoin because it's public. Like you can't hide. Whatever you're doing is done in the public. So if you put money in there, you move money out of there. You know what I'm saying? You cannot hide it. Okay. Now, another thing you need to pay attention to: crypto billionaires that's been coming up missing and coming up dead. Okay, you got to look that up now. Okay, now let's jump over here real quick. Okay, because you guys need to know this. Okay, crypto billionaires deaths, right? Okay, so all of this stuff that's been going on, Forex Club founder and billionaire, and I can't pronounce that name. Okay, had investment links, projects died. So all of these people have been coming up dead. And now that money is just in those wallets because you know what I'm saying? This stuff was decentralized. Okay. So all that money that's in those wallets is just up in the air because these individuals are dead. And if the people that got it don't have the access to the actual wallet, then the money is just in the air. You know what I'm saying? So these people are trying to bring this, uh trying to bring all of this stuff back down to try to curb inflation. You know what I'm saying? And see, they're not going to be able to raise the interest rates high enough in order to curb uh, the inflation that's going on. Okay. Now let's get back over here to this digital dollar, right? Okay. And let's just look at it. Okay. It says the central bank digital currencies are digital tokens similar to cryptocurrency issued by the central bank. So now they tell you that, oh, cryptocurrency ain't nothing, but then now they in the background creating a coin. Okay. Now check this out, right? It says they are pegged to the value of the country's fiat currency. Many countries are developing CBDCs, and some have even implemented them because so many countries are searching ways to transition to digital currency. It's important to understand what they are and what they mean for society. Now, listen to the takeaways right here. The central bank digital currency is a digital form of the country's fiat currency. Okay. The CBDC is issued and regulated by a nation's monetary authority or central bank. So they're regulating it. Okay. So you don't see what these people are doing on the back end. You just participating in the show, and they can work all this magic behind the scenes. Okay. Now it says, and it lets us know that there are many countries that have already launched their own digital currency. Okay. Now let's look at that. Okay. Countries that have launched central bank digital coins. Okay. Okay. Now let's look at this right here. Okay. So now you have these countries. Only 2 countries have fully launched CBDCs projects to date. Industry roundup, and this is back in September. Okay. So this map shows right here You got 2 that's launched. You had 15 in pilot at that time, proof of concept, and then you had all of these that were in research. Okay. So there's a big arm race of trying to create this digital dollar. Now, and this is actually where they popped old boy at Sam over there in the Bahamas. Because in my thoughts, they were taking the money that they had and trying to convert it to that nation's fiat, you know what I'm saying, monetary system, to that dollar, you know what I'm saying. They're converting it into that money, you know what I'm saying. And this is what they're talking about when they speak about, the big transfers of wealth. So at the end of the day, family, I just wanted to kind of jump on here, man, and just kind of go over some of this stuff. You gotta start paying attention to what is going on with this money, because it's getting ready to come crashing down, and it's not gonna be fun and games. All this entertainment, all this playing behind the scenes, it's a lot of stuff that's going on. And one of the things that I want to start doing here on this channel, if you are a financial advisor or you have knowledge in the financial world, reach out to me. Email me. My email is always in the description box. I can bring you on the channel. We have to start educating our people on what is going on with the economy. You got to know economics. You got to know how the money is moving. Okay. These people, listen, they got all this money up here in Switzerland. This is where they had all the money at. You know what I'm saying? And see, what's happening is the Most High has caught them with their hands in a cookie jar. Listen, Great Britain is bankrupt. They're in the hole just like the US is in the hole. You know what I'm saying? So when it gets to this point, the only thing that's left to do is go to war, because now you got to go take. You got to. They already taken, but then now they got to go debo some stuff and be like, okay, we need to get that. We need that, and it's just gonna call, and it's gonna be wars. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, we got to talk about this stuff, because I follow, some of these channels out here, and I follow some of these boys in the crypto space. They ain't talking about this 65 trillion that's getting ready to cause this collapse. And really, it's more than that. It's more than that. You know what I'm saying? So what they want to do is they're trying to get this digital coin going, where they can just pretty much funnel everything to the big bank. You know what I'm saying? The BIS, the Bank of International Settlement. You know what I'm saying? So all of these people are in on this stuff, know what's going on behind the scene. And I just wanted to kind of just tap in with you guys, let you guys know what's going on. So what the United States did is they did a 3-month launch. It's going to be for 12 weeks. Okay. So they're getting ready to see, they're trying to tweak it right now to see if they can pull this stuff off. But there's a lot of different things on the back end that they got to work out on that blockchain. And they're trying to see if they can pull this stuff off. So within the next 3 months, it's going to tell the tale if they can convert. And if it does happen, they're just going to crash the economy, because pay attention. When you see these companies, when they say, oh, the stock market is that, these people are taking their money out of there and they're converting it because they got to get it up out of there. You know what I'm saying? And all of these major companies like these banks, Citibank, you know what I'm saying? These people are behind the scenes involved in this stuff. You know what I mean? So we got to know what's going on, man, behind the scenes, man. And I would just watch, what you're keeping in the banks. You know what I'm saying? Because what you got to understand about the banks is the banks don't print money. They handle money. So you put your money in, take your money, and they lend it out, you know what I'm saying, to other people. And this is how they make money. Okay. You know what I'm saying? The feds are the ones that print the money. You know what I mean? So it's just, man, it's getting crazy, man. And so the top dog, the BIS, is speaking on this stuff because they are the bankers for the bankers. You know what I'm saying? That's where that's who hold their money and stuff. This who they go get the loans from. And they like, listen, man, we got 65 trillion. Really, it's more than that. You know what I'm saying? So they hide this stuff off outside of the United States and all of these different shadow banks around the world, these different institutions, financial institutions, credit card places, you know what I mean, insurance companies and stuff like this. This is how they hide the debt, you know what I'm saying, of them just printing money of it, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Get this word out there to the platforms, man. And and tell some of the big dogs, they got to come on now and start talking about this stuff, because our people need to know what's going on. The entertainment is cool, you know what I'm saying? And we report on that. But this right here, this is going to be problematic. Why do you think you see these billionaires and these people panicking? Remember when Puffy came out, it was like, oh, the stuff they trying to, oh, yes, it's coming. And a lot of them are coming right back down to the bottom. So they better go and tap in, because if they not tapped in, they know it's going to be problems for them, man. You know what I'm saying? So this stuff getting real, man, and it's getting real fast. Just wanted to tap in real quick, go over some of this stuff with y'all, but share this, get this out to the platforms, man. Get this out to them boys, man. They need to start preaching on this stuff. So, well, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's why I need y'all to work. I need y'all to share the messages. I need y'all to like the videos. You know what I'm saying? We need to run the numbers up. We got to run the presence up, out here. You know what I mean? And then we can start doing it. But make sure y'all guys tap in. If y'all are learned in finances and things like that, tap in with me. Hit the email. We'll set it up. We'll bring it on the platform, because we got to educate our people. So I love y'all. Y'all stay strong, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Shalom.